Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. Today we have Marine Major William Mimiaga on our show. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay trong chương trình Julie có Major William Mimiaga. Thank you so much for being on our show. The first segment we had such a great time to learn about who you are. You sound like an amazing teacher, amazing mentor to not just your students but people throughout the community. You are so active in the community, and as the Veterans Day comes up on the 10th of November, I thought it was a very important opportunity for me to invite you on my show to learn more about who you are, but most importantly, about what you have done for our country and for those of us who are immigrants here because of all of your service. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you very much. Those were real nice accolades.
Can you tell me about all those awards or recognitions on your jacket?
Well, the awards, many of them are service awards and campaigns from the wars. And then the personal decorations, they're just... I always felt you didn't earn those personal decorations by yourself. It was the Marines you led, the Marines you trained with, peacetime, wartime. They're the ones that made you shine. Same flips to school. I was Teacher of the Year for California. I received accolades from other organizations as a teacher, and even from our own California Senate. But it wasn't my teaching, it was the response of the other teachers that I collaborated with, the administrators, the faculty members, but as well as the students, how you touch them. So you're holding an award really that they all learned. And so I just carry whatever awards I have for them. They're the ones that earned it for me, and that's what makes me feel good.
I think, when a lot of times when someone stands up in front of an audience to receive an award, it's not, many times it's not a celebration of that individual, but all of the people that contribute to their journey, to that stage, essentially.
That's well said. See, you're absolutely correct.
I know you sent over some pictures and some images. You've been to the White House. You've met so many amazing people, that are part of our country. What does that feel like to be able to, work with all these people, these amazing people that lead our country?
You know what? I'm humbled to be able to work with them because many of them are heroes, and I'm just proud to say that I walked with the hero. And in some cases, I'll even tell people, hey, I'll ride that hero's coattail just to be amongst the people that he's with. And so many of those journeys have just been, they've been wonderful. And you realize that everybody's human. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a perspective. Everybody has something to say.
Yes.
And as we said before, you just listen. I don't agree with a lot of it, depending upon who I'm visiting. But it's important to understand that, hey, they're just as passionate, they're just as compassionate as you are. You can't judge them just on their feelings about any issues. So you just have to be understanding of that.
Thank you so much for letting us recognize you and for all the servicemen and women that contribute to our community. Julie cảm ơn quý vị. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Marine Major William Mimiaga. Julie đặt một câu hỏi về mỗi cái award với mỗi cái decoration của Bill. And Bill nói đó là mỗi lúc Bill nhận cái bằng thưởng là không phải là cái việc gì mà Bill làm không, mà phải luôn luôn nhớ mọi người mà giúp Bill cho được tới cái bước đây. Bill, I think that when you you have a heart of service, that you have the community at your fingertip. It's a very strong power. But what I notice is that you choose to make that power very gentle, where you're not pushing anybody to do anything, especially your students, but you're giving them the information so they can make a very independent decision. Now, how do you see yourself as you train servicemen and women and students in the process?
Well, just as a facilitator, a mentor, most importantly, a leader. They have to have someone to focus on. He's the catalyst for why I'm doing this. This is the understanding that I have. And just growing up in my family, my dad was a deacon in the church. My mom taught 25 years at Head Start. My older brother, he was a Vietnam veteran naval officer, a professor at Colorado State University. He died of Agent Orange. And my sister, a principal. And then after that, she's a marriage counselor. So this is not just the core of the family, this is all my family. Everybody was in service for others. It was just, so my dad didn't want me to go in the Marines, go on to college and stuff, but I honestly didn't have the grades. So I joined the Marine Corps, but then I became a teacher after I retired. And so it all worked out, and he was happy with that. He was proud. But it's just service to others, not always self, Take care of yourself, but, you have to look out for others because there's more need out there, and we just don't have the people or the assets that are providing what those in need do need. So
you do come from a family of service, and they taught you how to be a good leader, and you therefore help others. Thank you. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie nói chuyện với Major William Mimiaga. Major William Mimiaga nhắc nhở đó là trong gia đình của Bill là có rất nhiều người làm trong việc về giúp cho mỗi người trong cộng đồng. Tại Bill nói đó là tại lúc mình nhỏ lớn lên có thể không có điểm để cho học hành thì mới vô Marine, but sau đó Bill có khả năng làm được giáo viên để cho mấy em emotionally disturbed. Trong cái công việc của Bill thầy Bill làm là giúp cho mỗi người được làm cái leader, là được cho rất làm nhiều việc trong cộng đồng của mình. Bill, you said that you help a lot of individuals become leaders. You mentioned, I think during the commercial break, that one of the most satisfying things for you was when students visit you. Can you tell us a story about one of your proudest moments of someone who visited you before?
I have this young man. He was not a young man, he was a large man, but he was, some of them are set back, 1 year, 2 years. And so they're a lot older in middle school than the normal age range. But he came back and he stuttered, but he always tells us, Mr. Bell, I remember, he'd come talk to the students. I remember when you grabbed me and dragged me across the classroom. I said, whoa, whoa. I didn't drag you across the classroom. I led you. And then the time you grabbed me around my neck, I said, no, as I was straightening out your collar. But he wanted to come back and give something, be a volunteer. So we worked out a schedule for me, go to junior college, take this course, take that course, in child development, child care. He did that. And then he had the math was an issue with him. So we worked on the math for almost a year. And then he became a volunteer. And then he kept going to school. We tell him what courses to take. He went to Harvard JC, and then he went to Long Beach State. Anyway, he's now a full-fledged instructional aide. Incredible. Here's one that was just wild and carefree and not emotionally disturbed. That's the wrong. They're behaviorally challenged, put it like that. And so, you just change your behavior. You give them a goal, and it takes time. Nothing. You have to remember, they're 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. They're in those years where they're maturing, emotionally, mentally, physically. But by the time they've gotten to those years, they've gone through a lot of trauma. They've gone through a lot of deprivation. They've gone through, stories that you wouldn't believe. So it does take time. But, that's part of the journey, part of the adventure, just making things happen for them. Oh, yes, that's the best part.
That is an amazing story. I think, what I'm hearing is that you never lose hope for these kids.
You can't, that's, sometimes you're their only the only light that they see, you know, and it's a dark tunnel, but you know, you want to lead them out. So there's an opening at the end of the tunnel for you.
Yes. Well, after the commercial break, we'll definitely talk more. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Marine Major William Mimiaga. William nói đó là có một cái học sinh William giúp được rất là thành công, mà quan trọng nhất là William không có bao giờ quên về luôn luôn có nhiều hy vọng cho mỗi học sinh mà cái khó khăn trong middle school với trong cái emotional disturbed classes. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.